Good afternoon. So we are FB live. We are half an hour late, but we are going to discuss about breast cancers, detection of breast cancer, especially early breast detection, detection of early breast cancers. So the main tool in detection of breast cancers is clinical breast examination, which is done by a doctor. However, what is important is that self breast examination should be done by the patient himself, because for the patient to reach to us, she should be having some symptom. So unfortunately, in breast cancer, the first symptom which a patient comes with usually is a lump in the breast, and for a woman to know whether she has a lump in the breast, she has to be aware about how to detect a breast lump. So the way to detect a lump within the breast for a woman is by self breast examination. What we do is we divide the breast into four parts, okay, like a clock: 0 to 3, 3 to 6, 6 to 9, and 9 to 12. We divide the breast into four quadrants, and with the flat of the fingers, flat, okay, with the flat of the fingers, you will examine every quadrant of your breast from 0 to 3, 3 to 6, 6 to 9, and 9 to 12. And with that, if you detect a lump, then you should visit a doctor for further investigations. Now, it's a very important tool because most of the times we will get patients late if you don't detect your breast lump on your own. Especially, so nowadays the awareness is good. So most of the women are going for sonography or mammography breast once they cross 40, and these kind of programs help them to become aware. But in case you are worried to, or there's a problem of finances or time issues, then self breast examination is as good a tool as a sonography or a mammography. Why you have to use the flat of the hand is, okay, the flat of the hand, this flat of the fingers for self breast examination is because they are more sensitive to pick up a breast lump. Now most of the women will examine the breast lump with two fingers, okay. It should not be done by examining with two fingers. It should be the flat of the hand like this, okay, all the four quadrants. Once you evaluate yourself and examine the breast, and suppose if you happen to have a breast lump, number one thing is don't get panic, okay, no panic at all. Be confident that number one thing, you have detected it so early, and it is curable if detected early is the tagline for in Tata Memorial Hospital. And it's important that moment you detect this lump, you go and visit a qualified doctor. We will examine the breast. Now since I'm FB live, I understand that most of the young population will be here, okay. In a women less than 40, if you get a breast lump, okay, most of the times you are dealing with a benign breast lump that's non-cancerous, okay. So it is like a fibroadenoma. The lump is very small, it moves from one place to the other, and it slips under the finger when you press it. Then it is a benign breast lump which is called as a fibroadenoma. So most of the times in less than 40 you will have a lump, so do not worry too much about this, okay. So I've just got a question. Can you have breast cancer without symptoms, and what is the symptom and cause of breast? Can you have breast cancer without symptoms? So yes, you can have a breast cancer without symptoms. The patient may have a painless lump, and the lump may be too small for you to know, to detect, or the lump is too small to change the contour of your breast. So asymptomatic patients, patients who do not have any symptoms, can also come up with breast cancer. Sometimes it may so happen that you may not have any symptoms, and you may not be able to detect a breast lump by self breast examination, and you go for your routine health checkup, where because you are above 40, they may do a sonography or a mammography of the breast, and that is the time when an asymptomatic breast lump can be detected. So yes, it is possible that you may have a breast cancer without any symptoms. The symptom is there in the form of a lump which you have been unable to detect, and it has been detected on a health checkup or when you go for your annual routine sonography of the breast or your mammography. So I've got one more question. Uh, what test detect breast cancer? So the test for detection of breast cancer is an FNAC, which is a fine needle aspiration cytology. It is once you have a breast lump and you come to us, a qualified surgical oncologist, we will do an FNAC of the breast lump. FNAC is fine needle aspiration cytology. So a needle goes in the breast lump and we remove the cells, and that goes for checking, and that is the way we can detect the breast cancer. Once the FNAC comes positive, we send the patient for a mammography or sonography, depending on the age of the patient. I generally send for less than 35 to a sonography, for more than 40, 35 for a mammography, or maybe above 40 I send for a mammo. The reason for sending for sonography or a mammography is to find out if the patient has any other lump apart from the one which has been FNAC'd, detected, tested, and also to do a screening of the opposite breast. If the opposite breast is having any lump, because you should not forget that there is another breast as well, which we need to find out whether there is something or the other before we plan any further modality of treatment. So the investigation is FNAC, mammography, and self breast examination, of course clinical breast examination when you come to us. What are some unique, another question which has come to me is, what are the unique facts regarding breast cancer? So there are no unique facts regarding breast cancer, but what one of the most important factor or a uniqueness about breast cancer is that 99% only women get it. There is no other cancer which is only, which is more common in women as compared to other cancers. Of course, uterus and ovarian cancers will be happening only in women because males don't have it. But the incidence of male breast cancer is 1% and 99% is female breast cancers. There is a very higher incidence nowadays of breast cancer. The reason being there is greater awareness and we are getting good survival benefit in most of the patients. We are talking in terms of breast cancer, the survival benefit is spoken of in 10 years rather than 5 years, which is usually spoken of in other cancers. And it is the cancer where usually if you have a good receptors and good sort of good report on the FNAC or a biopsy, if the characters are good of the cancer, then it is completely curable. Anyways, even stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 we talk of cure. Stage 4 also we can extend up to 2 years, 5 years in breast cancer. There's another question which is is there a possibility for male to have breast cancer? So I just addressed that there is a possibility of a male to have a breast cancer. Very, 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 very rare. And in my practice in the last 15 years, I have seen only 2 male breast cancers. Probably seen more than maybe 10 to 20 per month females. So it comes to like about 200 patients of breast cancer in a year. As compared to that, in the last 10 years, I must have seen 2 patients of breast cancer. So it's so rare for a male to have a breast cancer. And another question which has come now is how to test for breast cancer. I just said FNAC and mammography. And then if you are planning for a surgery for this, then I usually advise in early breast cancers we usually advise a sonography and sonography of the abdomen and the X-ray chest to just rule out metastasis. In advanced breast cancers, we advise a PET scan prior to the surgery. PET scan is a test which will detect the whole body, whether there is any cancer in any other part of the body apart from the breast. Another question is that what are the modalities to treat breast cancer? So one more question coming in. Now the modalities to treat breast cancer is based on the stage of the breast cancer. For stage 1 and stage 2, stage 1 is early breast cancer, stage 2 is early breast cancer. The modality is surgery. Following the surgery, if the tumor size is more than 1 centimeter, then chemotherapy is added. If at the time of surgery the patient also has lymph nodes in the axilla, so that is usually late stage 2, then it is even radiotherapy is to added. And the algorithm is surgery, 6 chemotherapies, and then radiotherapy. There is another treatment after radiotherapy or after chemotherapy is over, where if the patient has some receptors present in their cancer, then we can give them tablets for approximately 5 years. I am now started giving it for 10 years. That helps to prevent the cancer to come back. The next question is, when should I begin screening for breast cancer? So screening for breast cancer should be started from today for every woman. You should learn the self-breast examination. If you want to know the exact technique, you can see the YouTube videos. You can go on Google and you can learn it, or you can come to a surgical qualified surgical oncologist who will teach you how to do the self-breast examination. But there are enough videos on the net to learn self-breast examination. So that is the best way that you start today. If you ask, generally I always advise patients that once you cross 35, you have to get your screening done. The screening, as I told you, is self-breast examination, and if you are not confident, you can always get a sonography or a mammography done. Above 40 mammo, below 40 sonography. Next question is, does target therapy work to treat breast cancer? So targeted therapy does work to treat breast cancer. There are certain specific tests which we need to do on the tumor. Based on that, we can add on the target therapy. For example, the most commonest targeted therapy which we use is trastuzumab. That's for HER2 receptor. If the receptor is positive, we give this therapy and the patient works. The survival advantage is increased by more than 25%. So the next question is, which comorbidities can be a triggering factor if one is diagnosed with breast cancer? So the most important comorbidity is female. That you're a female, then it's a comorbidity. You can get a breast cancer because you're a female. It's more common in females. Above the age of 40 is a risk factor. Obesity is one of the main cause of this. So if you are obese, you should try to lose your weight, because more the fat in the breast tissue, the more the chances of this being getting a cancer. Female who have been on a long-term use of oral contraceptive pills, they can have this. They are at risk of breast cancer. And family history positive of breast cancer, there's a high chance that there's a possibility that you may also have developed that. So the next question is, how long do you live with stage 1 breast cancer? So you don't live long with breast cancer, stage 1, you live very long. And that very long is, I always tell my patients, till you finish all your functions which are required as an individual, like taking care of your kids, and then their marriage and the grandkids and all that. Stage 1 is so good. So you'll be living the life which you're supposed to live minus the breast cancer. So it's a very, very, very good life after in stage 1 breast cancer. The next question is, how quickly do I need to make a decision about breast cancer treatment? So the moment you get detected, try to go in as early as possible for the treatment. One important aspect which I want to tell you today in this session is that, number one thing is, when you get detected with this cancer, do not yourself get very scared, or your family should not get too much scared. I know cancer per se is a devastating thing for anyone to hear that she has a breast cancer, but you should keep your calm. The body listens to your mind. So if your mind is relaxed, calm, knowing that I can win this, the body will win it. If you have lost it in your head, no matter whether you're stage 1 or stage 4, it's not going to work. So the decision to start treatment should be within 7 days of your detection. Now sometimes, I get these patients in the OPD and they're like, I've been told by my relative that get operated tomorrow, and they've just come, suppose they come on Friday and they want to get operated on Saturday, because it can spread in minutes. Nothing spreads in minutes. Okay. Once you are detected, you can wait for at least 21 days, even 10 days, 15 days, 21 days. I always say that the day you are detected, within 10 days or within 14 days, you should get your treatment started. But prepare yourself properly. Select the right doctor. Select the right hospital. Look at your finances. In which hospital you can fit in. Okay, luckily breast cancer is something which can be treated in any level hospital. Okay, since I'm chief surgical oncologist, going to hospital doesn't mean that it's only corporate hospitals where this can be treated. There are scores and millions of doctors who are doing this in every nursing home where breast cancer is treated. So the only thing is that the person whom you are getting treated with, he should know each and everything about the treatment. Okay, so if you are going to a surgical oncologist, he should know obviously everything about his surgery apart from what next after the surgery. So select your doctor and then you can do this treatment at any place. uh, the next question is my general physician well equipped to detect early breast cancer? So your general practitioner is supposed to be very well prepared to evaluate, examine and determine whether you have this breast cancer. So as you are attending these sessions over here on Facebook Live, most of the general physicians who are practicing must have attended more than 50 of these in CMEs. CMEs are what the ones continuing medical education. There are lectures going on every Sunday and breast cancer is a favorite everywhere. So I think I'm very sure that 99% of the general practitioners as well as physicians are adept at clinical breast examination and will tell you that whether this is benign or this is non-cancerous, because this is taught at the MBBS level, okay, when you're doing an undergrad. So definitely once you're qualified, they are very well equipped to find out whether this is something which is sinister or benign or cancerous or non-cancerous. So yes, a general physician is well equipped. The next question is do so, the question asked here is does BRCA test work in early detection? So these are breast cancer antigen tests. They are usually done in, suppose if there's a woman with an early breast cancer less than 35, 40 having this cancer, we run a test on her and if we see whether she's harboring a gene, and if she's harboring a gene, we also tell to run on the girls or on the daughters or on the sisters of the patient. So if they are harboring that gene of BRCA, then there's a possibility that you may develop breast cancer in future. You should keep yourself under tight surveillance that moment you get a breast lump, don't observe it, especially when you have a family history of breast cancer. Even if it is clinically benign, do not observe if there is a family history of breast cancer. So there are a lot of questions coming in, and so how do you prevent breast cancer from growing? So there is no such thing as you can prevent any breast cancer from growing. You will prevent a breast cancer from growing by going to the correct doctor to get treated. Once you get treated, there is no question of the cancer growing. So don't harbor a diagnosis of cancer and a lump in your breast and just wait that I will see how to prevent this from growing. It doesn't work like that. It has to be treated. Can gynecomastia cause breast cancer? No, it does not cause breast cancer. The next question is breast cancer curable? What is the precaution to avoid breast cancer? So breast cancer is eminently curable, and the precautions to avoid breast cancer is, as I mentioned earlier, you should have a balanced diet, calm mind, and you should be doing some kind of exercise to prevent any kind of cancer, leave alone breast cancer. So calm mind, दिमाग को ठंडा रखो, have a good diet, पेट को नरम रखो और थोड़ा चलो फिरो. So that is पैर को गर्म करो. So if you do these three things, you will be away from most of the cancers. The next question is, in case one gets a partial mastectomy done, is there a change that cancerous cells and start growing in the remaining area? So this is an oft repeated, a good question, and this comes every time to us when we advise patients to conserve the breast vis-a-vis removal of the breast. So the chances of recurrence after partial removal of breast or complete removal of breast is the same. There is no difference. Okay, if it has to come back, it will come back even if you will completely remove or you will remove partially. The only thing is, when is this result equal of partial removal and complete removal? It becomes equal when partial removal is supplemented, added by radiotherapy after the surgery. Now when you remove only 1/4 of the breast and 3/4 of the breast is left behind, for the cancer not to come back in the 3/4 of the breast, you should be taking radiotherapy. If you avoid radiotherapy, it is not equal. So be sure that if you are undergoing a breast conservation surgery, partial mastectomy, it will be followed by radiotherapy, and then it is equal to complete removal. Recurrence rate is the same in both partial mastectomy plus radiotherapy or complete removal. At what stage of breast cancer is chemotherapy? Chemotherapy is used in any breast cancer which is having a tumor size of more than 2 centimeters. In my practice, I have seldom seen a patient who has come with a tumor size of less than 2 centimeters. So there are few patients who come with less than 2 centimeters, maybe 1 centimeter size, and those patients chemotherapy is not required. More than 1 centimeter size chemotherapy is required. So any more questions are coming in? So there's a new question coming in. Is there a hereditary reason for breast cancer? So I just spoke to you some time back. There is a hereditary reason. There's a possibility that once you have your mom or your sister or your grandmom having this cancer, there's a chance that you may get this cancer. It is not like it is 100%, the percentage is very less than 3% chance that you may get this, 0.03% of, no, sorry, it's less than 3% chance that you will get this, cancer because of it running in the families. We run tests on the index case, and then we can always tell you whether you have a chance of getting this or not. I always say that, you usually feel that you are very unfortunate that in your family there is someone with breast cancer and now you are at risk of getting breast cancer. I would say you should not consider yourself unfortunate. You should consider yourself fortunate because someone else in your family has made you alert on the possibility of breast cancer. So you start becoming more alert about your organs, and you will do your mammography, self breast examination on your own, or get yourself investigated, as compared to a female in whose family there has never been a breast cancer. So it is the way of looking at it. The negative way of looking at it is I am at risk because someone in my family has it. Okay, the positive way of looking at it is that I can detect it early because I know how it goes. I know the whole jig. I know the whole how the case goes. So it becomes easier for you to detect it early as compared to a woman who has never seen a breast cancer patient in their family. So you have to take it positively. I don't mean to say that you should be happy. It's a very sad thing that someone is having this, but take it the positive ways. Because she is having it, I know what precautions I have to take. Yeah. So any more questions? I'm just looking at a new question coming up now is painful chemotherapy happens in breast cancer. So the pain in chemotherapy or the trouble during chemotherapy, earlier it was quite a cumbersome thing to get this chemotherapy side effects and all that when you're doing the chemotherapy. But with the latest drugs and the prevention of vomiting drugs which we are using, the side effects are very less. In fact, I would say it is one of the smoothest chemotherapy to take. Patient doesn't have any much side effects. The two important things which you should remember when you're doing your chemotherapy is that there is something called as port insertion. This is a machine which is inserted in the chest for the chemotherapy to go directly into the vein, so that the hand doesn't get spoiled, the veins are not spoiled of the hand, and the patient gets less local reaction on the hand. So if you want less side effects of local side effects of chemotherapy administration, port insertion is a good tool so as to prevent those multiple pricks in the hand when the IV is not got, or even the blood collection can be done through the port. So that is one thing. Second thing is hair loss. Now hair loss is 100% there in all the patients who take this chemotherapy. If you are very keen that the hair loss side effect, you are very keen, then there is cool cap technology now, wherein during the chemotherapy they put a cool cap onto the head and it prevents hair loss. There is a 93% success rate with that. To each his own, it depends on how you take it, and these are the two main things about chemotherapy. So do not get too much worked up about the side effects of chemotherapy. Rather look at the good part, that you finish this and most probably for the rest of your life you don't have to look at it. And I'll tell you one more thing which I have seen in my practice. Once you finish this chemotherapy and the hair is gone, and once the sixth chemotherapy starts, your hair starts coming in. And when this patient comes after 3 months or 6 months of chemotherapy to me back with the new hair, I'll tell you the quality of the hair is much better than what she had prior to the detection of breast cancer. They are thicker, darker. Of course, they don't get the long flowing hair, but whatever hair they get is long term much more long term than what you had the regular hair, and it's much thicker. The quality is much better. So do not get to, you can keep on harping on saying, "Arey, I'm going to lose my hair. I don't want to do the chemo." What I say, don't lose life, lose hair. You will get your hair back. You cannot get your life back. Yeah. So we are looking at further questions. A lot of questions are coming in, and one question which is asked is how much is the cost of the breast cancer treatment? So the cost of the breast cancer treatment is entirely dependent on your treating doctor. So if you ask me personally, I generally tell the patient that you select the hospital where you can manage your funds. Okay, more bigger the hospital, higher the cost. Smaller the hospital, lower the cost. Nursing home level, the cost is lesser. Corporate hospital, obviously, the cost is higher. But this is one of the cancers which any patient can afford. Like if when I operate these patients in the general ward, the cost to the patient is not more than 60,000 plus medicine. And when you take the higher category, the cost goes high. But it is, I've never seen a patient of breast cancer saying that they cannot afford the treatment. It is easily possible for anyone to undertake this treatment, whether it is surgery, chemotherapy, or radiotherapy. Chemotherapy is also not very costly. The entire 6 cycles, if you require 6 cycles, will not cost you more than 70-80,000. The surgery will not cost you more than like 70-80,000 on 1 lakh in a general ward. Sometimes the cost can be even lower depending on the financial status, wherein we talk with the hospital that can we do it at a lower cost because this patient is unaffording. There are various means where you can go to various trusts. Of course, it's not a good thing that you're going to the trust and then they don't help you. It happens nowadays because of the situation, but we are there. If there is any problem with the finances, we can always help you out with the best possible quote. Any more questions? So we are now, I think I'm almost 20 minutes into Facebook Live. We've answered a whole lot of questions, and I think I'm not getting any more questions coming in. We've addressed almost everything here. The only thing I would like to add in this in today's session is that any cancer, leave alone breast cancer, do not get too much worried that this is not curable. Don't ask your neighbors, friends, relatives, Google about what is going to happen to me because I have this cancer. Ask a qualified guy, a surgical oncologist. He will tell you exactly, like how we know the breast cancer, any cancers treatment, or the what is going to happen to you in future. How we can predict it. We can predict it like how you predict the life of a human being. He's born, and then at 9 months he's going to get his teeth, and then at 3 years he's going to go to school, and then 10th standard he'll pass, and then get married. How that life cycle is, we know the life cycle of the cancer. So once we look at the cancer, once we look at all the reports, we know what are the chances of this to come back, whether you will require chemotherapy or radiotherapy, how much time you should follow up with us. So do not get too much worked up. I understand that stage 4 cancer is a very bad cancer, and most of the people who are logging in would be like, sir is saying it's so easy because he's on the other side of the table. So I have also been on the same side of table. I have had family members who have undergone this. It is how you take it. Okay, I always say consider this as a bend, okay, but not as an end of the road. A bend in the road rather than a end in the road, and you should know how to negotiate that bend rather than considering this as a end of the road. So with this, I close off the FB Live session and hope all of you have a lovely life and best of luck. Thank you.